Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a special episode of Got Stitches. I am Nicci. You can find me on Instagram as Stitch and Nicci. Our email is down below, but it's stitchandnicci79@gmail.com. And on Ravelry, it's Nicci52879. And my Goodreads is in the down below.
I am Sarah, and you can find me on Ravelry as Sarah-Belle, Belle. Um, and on Instagram as @stitchinginthestands. That's all I got.
So this episode is more of getting to know us because we've never done one of these for y'all. And then some of our plans for the rest of the year. And both me and Sarah, I try to plan and then I go off the rail to the other direction. Sarah's more, true and makes some very loose plans so that when she goes off the rails, it's not as detrimental to her, like, oh, I had this planned and then never got to it. So I figured we would start with the questions that we took off. I took off with some of the other floss tubes and knitting podcasts so you could get to know us.
And I just looked up random icebreaker questions. I'm not creative at all.
You're more creative than you think. So we'll go right into the first question. Where are you from, Sarah?
I am originally from New Orleans, and I moved to Chicago when I was 18, and I've been here ever since.
I am originally from Wisconsin, Milwaukee. I left in my early 20s for 6 years to Oklahoma and then moved back for family. So I've been here ever since. I just moved north of Milwaukee. So what do you do for a living?
I'm a mama. I stay at home. And yeah, I'm a stay-at-home mom.
Which is an important job too. Really. I work for Ripon Athletics and we make obviously jerseys, coats for the military, NFL jerseys, college jerseys, all the way down to Pee Wee. So that is what I do for a living. Do you have any kids or pets?
I have a almost within days 12-year-old. Birthday's Friday. And then I have an 8-year-old, both girls. I have a spoiled dog, Loki, who's 2. And we are in the process of getting all the supplies to get a bearded dragon.
Oh, you finally decided.
Did I forget to tell you that?
No, we talked about it, and then but it was still between that and a few other animals, and I was like, wait.
Oh no, it's bearded dragon because the turtle's not happening.
I have a stepson who will be 18 in June and graduating, going to Oklahoma State. And we have a dog who, yes, very spoiled. Cooper, who will be 6 in June. 7. So that is all the pets. We've normally are a two dog family, but we were debating not getting any more pets after this one. So he's a single boy, and we decided, if we do get dogs, we'll wait till he is not here because he's so used to being a single pet. We don't know what he would do with that. So any other hobbies we do than what we talk about here?
Do I have time for more? I don't think I have time for anything else.
I used to be a Stampin' Up! Consultant way back in early 2000s. And so I still like stamping and making cards and scrapbooking. I don't do it very often. Like Sarah just said, we don't really have the time.
Mhm.
And then I love making baskets in the summer. For me, because the reed has to be in the water so much with the dog, I don't want him to look out of the bucket that's holding the basket material because the chemicals that can come off in it, I just, yeah, no, I don't want my dog drinking that. So that is something I like to do on my front porch in the sun
Mhm.
and not in my home making a mess or by the dog.
Okay.
So,
I'm gonna pop one in. Do
okay.
you have, and I just randomly am seeing where my eyes land on my screen. No rhyme or reason. Do you have any crazy roommate stories?
Boy, I'm trying to think if any of them are appropriate for on here. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I've had two places with separate people.
Hmm.
And the one was my first apartment. There was three other people besides myself that lived there. So there was a couple, and then me and my female friend Nadine. And then when I moved to Oklahoma, I lived with five guys. I
Hmm.
was the only female. So what was nice about that? Not so crazy, but kinda. I would come home from work and everything would be clean. Like they would like they all work too, but they always made sure I came home to a clean house.
Hmm.
And nobody could believe it. But I did all the cooking.
Hmm.
And they literally, it was funny because I make homemade mozzarella sticks that I learned how to make at my aunt's bar
Hmm.
down by the stadium. And so there's two of them who'd block off the doorway to the kitchen and nobody was allowed in there till they were all made. Then it was a free for all.
Hmm.
But no, not that's appropriate for on here.
Oh, do I have a story?
I can't wait.
Second year of college, I was in an on-campus apartment. So three 19-year-olds uh, in an apartment. One of the ladies, her boyfriend was visiting for the weekend, and he was 21, so he brought things with him that we weren't legally able to buy. And they came running in, racing each other to because they all had to go to the bathroom.
Oh,
And
jeez.
my roommate got there first. So next, like cue that night, I mean the roll, the toilet paper holder, the toilet paper went on, disappeared, like the little thing you put inside the roll.
Yeah.
That was gone. We couldn't figure out where it went. Like all these things were happening. And the next morning, my roommate's like, I can't find my cell phone. And I was like,
What?
and it was one of those Razor flip phones. So,
Okay.
and she's like, yeah, it was in my pocket last night. I think it got flushed down the toilet. I'm like, there's no way that thing fit down the toilet. And and she's like, well, I haven't been able to see it since we came running in. So I go out. It was my niece's birthday. She's now like 20 something, which is just scary. And I went downtown to find a birthday present for her. And I get a phone call from my roommates, and they're like, I really think it got flushed down the toilet. I'm like, there's no way. I'm talking to my dad later. He goes, if you had seen the things you kids flushed down the toilet, I believe it went down the toilet. So
Oh,
we call maintenance because, on campus apartment.
yep.
And the guys come and we're not saying a word. We are not. And so they bring the big thing,
The
whatever.
rotor, yeah, the
Yeah.
snake.
The snake to go down. And there were two guys. And we're just kind of standing there like, is it coming out? What's going on?
What's in there?
And one of them comes out and he goes, did anything get flushed down? And my roommate goes, well, we are missing a cell phone. And I kid you not, at that exact freaking second, the other guy yells out, I got a cell phone case. She had a leather cell phone case around the razor, her cell phone. was flushed down the toilet. So they're
My God.
like, we may have to replace the toilet. I don't know. Luckily, when they took it off, it was literally sitting right there.
Oh, I.
I called my mom and like 2 days later, she's like, I like can't sleep because I just randomly start thinking about that and start laughing. So we became the cell phone room. And we had like, in college, you put the whiteboard on
Right.
the door and I put the cell phone room. If you don't know, don't ask.
For real.
And I won't
Like,
even say that's the only crazy story from that year. They were, yeah, it was a fun year.
that's insane. I mean, I know I learned the hard way. Not me, but I was with somebody and she always put hers in their back pocket.
Yeah.
Same thing, ran to the
When,
restroom.
at
And
that point, it was like low ride
yep. Yep.
jeans. So there was barely a pocket there to begin with. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
That's funny.
Continue.
All right. Favorite movie?
Right now, oh God.
Whatever.
Um, oh no.
Sorry. First
The
week.
pirate movie.
The
Not
what movie?
not the pirate movie from like 2000s, the spoof,
No.
the pirate movie that is a parody of the Pirates of Penzance from the 80s.
Oh, okay.
I love it. It's a family favorite. We all watch it. All my siblings, two of my sisters and I, we all have it on DVD. Which I can't believe they put it on DVD. Yeah.
That's funny.
Mhm.
Um, there's so many movies that I like. I guess I'd have to go with uh Grease.
Mhm.
It's been a favorite for a long time, but as I loved musicals as a kid, so not real shocking.
Mhm.
I have a favorite TV show.
That's a mood thing for me, but Bones.
Um, for me, I would say um the name just like went out of my head. Like I can see Penelope and Derek Hodges. Oh my gosh, why can I not think of this name? People are yelling at.
um, Criminal Minds. There we go.
There, yeah. That's one of my
Supernatural
favorites.
popped in my head for some reason because I was watching them kind of around the same time. Criminal Minds.
Oh,
I
Criminal
love
Minds I
Lacey
will put
Spencer.
on. So
Mhm.
one word that describes you.
That's me boring, but I don't think I'm that interesting.
Um, let's see.
Random. Yeah.
I would say determined for myself. So favorite music?
Rock. I mean, just general rock. Not quite pop
I
rock.
would I'm I lean more towards like the oldies.
Mhm.
I
But
grew
what
up
is
listening.
oldies to you? Because you have to ask that question now.
I know, and that's what I'm trying to like.
Because
I
old,
need
you go to an oldie station and there's going to be some 90s on there.
probably like 80, 70s, 80s.
Mhm.
I would say is more like what I like. There's a lot of new stuff I like too, but I'm all over the place on that one. Uh, do we have a favorite book? I can say for myself, I have a favorite author, but I don't think I have a favorite book. Book,
Narrowing it in my head. Um, it's a Little Women. I still cry every single time for all three of the books.
and I've never read a single one of them.
Every time I cry.
Yeah, I don't. I will say I like mystery romance.
Hmm.
best, but like to actually pick out a favorite book right now, I don't think I could.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
How did you get into cross stitch?
Cross stitch.
I'm gonna break these apart for us so that
Okay. I I was just explaining this last night. I went to a stitch group in my area. I've been a crafter for quite a while, and it is my firm belief that all crafts are a gateway. Because how often do you meet a crafter who only does one craft?
very seldom.
Yes. So obviously, I was sort of led. They'd been trying to get me, but then last year when my dad died, I needed something new, something fresh. I was literally crocheting when I got the call that he died, and I don't know if that had anything to do with it or I just needed something to occupy my brain more. So I picked up cross stitch quietly, didn't tell anybody right away.
I
Because I,
think we both did that.
huh?
I think we both did that.
Yeah. Because I knew what would happen when I did tell everybody. So yeah.
Okay. For cross stitch, I had always said I'd never do it,
Hmm.
and that that was just a craft that I couldn't do. Nope, never doing it. Um, I made a very generalized statement after that that we're not going to talk about. I apologize now for that, and yeah, I like Sarah. I didn't tell anybody right away because at first I was like, "No, you said you'd never do this. Like, don't tell." So, how did you get into knitting?
I was an after school teacher, and it was the last week of the summer portion. And the place I worked, they always closed the week before Labor Day to do like general maintenance and like overall clean the classrooms when there aren't going to be kids in them because we had from like 3 months to 13 years old. So there were always kids there. And so that week, you typically have time where for an hour or two every day, your new class would come to you. So, they could get to know the teachers. And I asked the kids, what did they want to know? What did they want to do this year? Like, what would they want to, what can we do? And I was known as like the crafty person and the person who cooked. So they brought up knitting. I had never even thought about knitting.
Oh,
Never occurred to me. And so I took that week and taught myself to knit.
nice.
Stitching bitch.
Um, Knitting. I tried when I was like 19. I did a class at Joann's because my grandmother knit and crocheted and did all the things. And I wanted to, but she did it backwards and left-handed from sitting on the floor watching her grandma and her mom. So she didn't want to teach me. She wanted somebody to properly teach me.
Mm-hmm.
And I I tried. It just I wasn't there yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was 29, I moved up here to marry my husband, and a local yarn shop had just went in, and I went in there just to buy yarn for my grandmother. And um, the woman who opened it, Josie, she's like, "Oh, you want to take my first ever knitting class?" And I was like, "I mean, I can try again, but I'm probably gonna fail and not come back."
Okay.
But that's how I started.
All right. Let's see. What band would you be embarrassed to admit you listen to?
Spice Girls.
I'm not embarrassed. I tried
Yeah,
to
but
get
you
that to
grew up
be
in
a
the
cheer routine,
generation.
spice up your life. I'm like, come on, they tell you what to do, shake to the left. Yeah. Um, I'm not embarrassed anymore. Like, you listen to what you want to listen to. I have varying tastes. But when I was in my 20s, I had one song. And if you are a Pauly Shore fan, you know why it was a song I listened to. It was the only song by this artist I had on my iPod. Thank God I'm a country boy.
As soon as you said Polly Shore, I just started laughing.
Hmm. So Son-in-Law was one of my favorite. Like I would watch that anytime I saw it come on TV.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I
and
still will.
I thought the bus driver something was on the radio. He listened to radio all the time. So I'd have points where I had to sit on the bus while we were
Yep.
waiting for kids to get out of school. And um and I thought he asked me, did I listen to John Denver? And it happened to be on my iPod that I was listening to. And I'm like, can he hear it? I'm like, what? And I was like, how did you know? He's like, so you wait, you do like John Denver? I don't remember what he actually asked me, but that wasn't what he asked me. And it just, I'm like, yeah, now I don't care. I have no embarrassment over anybody I listen to.
How did you get into sewing?
I always wanted to sew. My mom would not do anything with me involving sewing. She did buy me she did buy me a quilt block
Kit?
kit. It made like one quilt block. I was a
Oh,
stupid child
hmm.
and it had a picture. I thought that was
I
it
don't think you're
started off
stupid.
very
I just think
small.
you were you know what I mean?
And then I was living with a boyfriend and I needed to get a button or a thread to sew a button on his coat to tighten his buttons on his coat. And I was at a Hancock Fabrics and they had the Quilt a Month Club where it was $10 and as long as you finished the block, you got the next month free. You just bought like you got the fabric, all you had to do was buy thread and whatever. And I came home and he never knew this about me. And I was like, I think I want a quilt. And he's like, what? I was like 20. And he's like, what? It was just the most random thing to him. And I explained it to him and I explained the club. He's like, well, yeah, go for it. And he got me my first sewing machine. I still have it, although it is in a closet on timeout. It knows what it did. And I've recently started trying again.
I started sewing at like 14. I wanted to make all my cousins pillowcases with their favorite Looney Tune characters with a quilt.
Hmm.
For me, that meant I was just putting batting down,
Hmm.
back piece, and like two yards of whatever fabric I bought, like Bugs Bunny for my cousin Samantha, and I just sewed that together and then zigzagged across it.
Hmm.
And then I bought the like that silky smooth sand stuff to try to put as trim. Yeah, that was the devil. And like at that age, like cursing was wrong still. And like I wanted to throw the sewing machine and everything out the window at my grandparents' house. So I gave up for a long time. But then I kept seeing clothes that I wanted to make.
Hmm.
So in a knitting group that I used to go to, a lot of them sewed
Hmm.
like clothing, quilts, applique. So I had one of the women come over and show me how to use those things. And yeah, took off from there.
What's a movie you quote? Or what quote from movie, TV, whatever do you use all the time? I have one and nobody ever knows I do it.
I have to think on that for a minute. You can answer first.
All right, so mine, I never say it in the tone because they will it's wasted on them. It's wasted on them. Oh wait. Mine is dinner is prepared. Do you know where it's from?
It reminds me of but I know that movie wasn't out for that long. Like The Help,
No.
but I know it's not from there.
I'm gonna see if I could find a meme.
I'm still trying to think if there's any. Hmm.
Well, give me that one, man. Okay. Just moved on my desk. Whoa.
Oh, Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Rocky Horror Picture Show. I don't say it like her because it's wasted on my family. They don't know what it is. But yeah, every time I'm like, dinner is prepared. No one ever catches it. I don't even know if Peter's seen it, honestly.
I was say, has anybody in your household seen it though? Is the other thing.
Well, I know my kids haven't. I'm not ready to introduce that one to Viv.
No,
Oh, one
no,
day I will.
right. Um, I always say, "Damn it, Janet." I will admit to that.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't know. I know my friends who've known me for 20 plus years know where it's coming from.
Yeah, but then it gets stuck in my head when you do that because I know it. I know the song. Yeah.
Yeah, and I never even pictured you knowing it. As bad as that sounds.
Oh, it came on VH1 every Halloween, and I would
Mhm.
watch it. No, I did not know for a long time that that was censored.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that for a long time. And yeah, my first year of college, I made sure we found a live one, and I got friends to go with me, and we got a props kit and everything.
Oh yeah. But my second time ever seeing it was at our Oriental Theater where
Mhm.
yeah, and they would line up, and if you're the virgin to seeing it,
Hmm.
you had to go through a spanking line. There was a lot of things and a
Hmm.
lot of things they randomly yell out during the movie
Hmm.
as it's playing. So yeah, that was eye opening, and everybody dressed up to go to it.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, my one cousin literally had one of the songs from that movie dedicated during my wedding, like during the dance.
Hmm.
And I was like, yeah, just wait, payback is coming because she's getting married next
Hmm.
May, not
Hmm.
this year, but 2025. I was like, it is coming back to you tenfold on that one. Tenfold. Uh, did I ask? The follow up question was, how long have you been doing each of your crafts? So knitting, crochet, sewing.
Crochet, I learned when I was like 13 or 14. My mom my mom bought me crochet hooks. No yarn, no instructions.
Just some yarn.
Just a pack of Susan Boy hooks or Susan
Okay.
Bates hooks from Walmart.
Those plastic ones, like
No, they
the
were metal, but yeah,
okay.
just a pack. And I was going to my dad's that weekend, and I'd gotten some. I was doing like Indian loom beading and stuff like that at the
Oh
time.
yeah, I remember when that
So
was
I had a
big.
little bag with all my stuff, and I showed my stepmom and my dad, and I'm like, I got these hooks, but I don't know what to do with them. And my stepsister, my stepmom's oldest daughter, she crocheted. And so she brought everything, and she's not left-handed, but she just taught me to crochet, and yeah. And then I didn't really go very far with it because I didn't have anything to do for it. Like again,
Yeah,
I
that was
didn't
before
learn
YouTube.
anything. Nobody got me any. And I didn't have money. So I re-picked it up in 2019 when I picked up crafting again and kind of retaught myself.
Knitting.
Knitting, you asked.
You did how many years you've been doing that and cross stitch you just started this year
Oh,
like me.
years. Okay, cross stitch just August. Crochet technically over 30. Knitting, I was probably 25, so 15 years,
Okay.
something like that.
Crochet I learned as a small child. I forgot that we hadn't talked about that, but yeah. And all I did was a chain. And for me, it was like I need a new Chinese jump rope.
Hmm.
I chain, tie it off. My grandma always tried to get me to turn and like do the second row, and I was like, nope, I'm good, and I'd leave. But um, so knitting was the first one, and that was in 2008.
Okay.
Uh, cross stitch or not cross stitch, crocheting from there was like 2010. I did a class with the same yarn shop.
Mhm.
I'm still not real proficient. I can do it, but I have to see it. And then sometimes I have to look it up on YouTube, like the half double, double. I'm getting a lot better, but like when you go from US terminology to UK and then switch it back,
Mhm.
I sometimes I'm like, wait, what? What do I have to do? I have to look it up and I have to pay
Yeah.
attention to where the designer is from.
Yeah.
And cross stitch, I've been doing it a year and I'll be 2 years in April.
Um,
So
if you could listen to one song for the rest of your life, what would it be?
don't stop believing my journey.
Good one. The other one is my bar song. Um, I would get blocked from the jukebox because my friends were so tired of it. It's my happy song, "Blister in the Sun" by Violent Femmes.
Okay.
Oh, I'd get
Good.
blocked. I would play it as many times as I could just to annoy them. And we'd go to the bar every Friday, so they heard it a lot. Then they were playing Al Green, which I love Al Green. They can't talk.
Yeah, no.
Like, it's the happy song. No happy song. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we all have our one happy song, our sad song, our angry song.
Oh no, it's literally, I called it my happy song. Like, that's what everybody knew it as. Sarah's happy song.
Yeah. Yeah, like there was a song that I put on from Papa Roach always whenever I was upset.
Okay.
I had an angry song.
Mhm.
So favorite pieces we've done for knitting, cross stitch, all of it.
Okay, I looked up stuff, so let's see. We're gonna see some random screens. Oh no, that's plans. Hold on, I gotta go to. So knitting, this is one of my oldest things. It is, I can make it full screen. It is the Traveling Woman shawl.
Oh, that's pretty.
Hmm. I wore it all the time. I still wear it. And I was obviously
You were
a
young.
lot younger here, huh? This was in 2009.
Oh, wow.
Made it, yeah. And then crochet, I would guess, is my not so scrappy granny. It's a scrappy granny, but I didn't use scraps. I just bought yarn for it. And
Nice.
then crochet. Oh no, that's sewing. Sorry, sewing. Amelia's pillow. Um, she loves it. And then let's see. Nope.
The Amelia bed, I would say it is, kind of like a cat bed.
Oh. And then I'm trying to figure out, okay, let me stop share and then share again. And then cross stitch, I would say it's my wedding sampler that I just finished, which this week I really need to print
It's pretty.
wedding picture. Yeah.
Did you get your frame?
I have the frame. It's
Okay.
got kind of off-white matting. And quite honestly, I think I'm just going to keep it because then I don't have to cut anything.
There you go.
And I just have to print the picture, and I'm going to choose not like a formal looking picture, but one of the ones that was taken during the ceremony.
I gotta find the right side and the wrong side. Okay. My favorite knitting piece is my very first Fanta Stitch from Stephen West.
Mhm.
It is my most worn piece. Um, yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. I had to go pull it out of we have a like one of the old sistering crocks that
Mhm.
they used to use to make pickles
Mhm.
right by the door, and that's where I leave it so that I can grab it on my way out of the house.
Mhm.
My favorite crochet piece, it was actually a gift from my husband that I stole back. It is his scrappy moss stitch crochet
Mhm.
blanket. I
Mhm.
use this every night, and I just literally used all Red Heart. I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby. Karen's Simply whatever, the Karen yarn, just balls of yarn that have been around since I was a child from my grandmother's,
Mhm.
and just did one line, one row across, and then I never cut the fringe. I just left it. And then my favorite sewing was this bag I made myself
Mhm.
from So Sweetness, and all my gnomes are on there.
Mm.
There's even an ice fishing gnome on this side.
I've never
So
seen
yeah,
that bag.
I love that one. And my favorite cross stitch
Mm.
is
Mhm.
this piece here that you're getting reflections from the windows. But yeah, I took that off the wall. Yeah, I still leave it up all
Mhm.
year round.
Doesn't shock me.
So
Okay.
those are my four favorites as of right now.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite designer, whether it be cross stitch or
No,
knitting or anything?
no. I'm all over the place. I
I
have.
would have to say I'm all over the place for cross stitch.
Mhm.
Every time I think I have a favorite, like I see something else that I like from a different person.
Mhm.
And as far as knitting and that crochet, no, I don't have a favorite at all. Um, knitting, I have a designer that I do a lot of their stuff. So I'd have to say Stephen West is
Sounds
one of my favorites.
good. Mhm.
So, and my last question
Okay.
from everything is any favorite podcasts, floss tubes,
Um,
or just favorable mentions you
yeah.
want to?
I always watch Just Keep Stitching on Monday mornings. That's like my project stitching. Frivolous and Frugal when they get on there. Three ply. Um, oh, and Big Stitching with Hallie. Big things.
I'm assuming she's a full
Floss.
coverage.
Yeah. Hold on. Two. I hate I watch it all the time.
It's
Uh,
so funny when we do that and then we don't remember their names.
oh, stitching big things with Hallie. There we go.
Okay.
I was close.
You were. You were very close. Uh, I would have to say, like you, every Monday, if not Sunday night, I watch Just Keep Stitching.
I resist Sunday night because I want to have it for my stitching in the morning.
Yeah, when I work, I watch it Sunday night. Now that I'm not working with everything going on, at the moment, I watch it. Typically, I start it Sunday night. Sometimes I finish, sometimes I don't. Heartland Quilting and Sewing, Cross Stitch and Sewing.
Mhm.
I watch them every time it comes out. Mm, I just found Yoshi. He's a cross stitcher. He does a lot of huge, big pieces, and I just like watching because his thing is he doesn't look at the like once he buys the pattern, he doesn't look at the front cover ever again till
Hmm.
he's done.
Okay.
So I don't know if he just does it in black and white, like the look for stitching.
Hmm.
So, and then trying to think of my knitting ones. There's like so many that I watch. If there's one that I like immediately turn on when it comes on.
Hmm.
I used to always Dawn and Pennies, but they stopped
Yeah, they paused. Yeah.
for right now. I watch Mandy's.
Hmm.
I forgot the name of her actual diary of her knitting diary. Diary of a knitter.
Yeah, I think so.
And then I watch Stephen West always, of course, when he puts one up.
Mhm.
I think that's about it right now.
Okay.
Yarn Hoarder. She
Mm.
does she does do them now. It's just that she has a Patreon
Okay.
and she donates that money to different causes.
Okay.
So
Plans.
jumping into plans. Do you want to?
I mean,
So,
I have ideas more than plans.
okay.
I don't know that I would
I
say.
will just start and you can say yay or nay, I guess, and then you can do yours. So I have Maynia plans. I have them all wrote out.
I do not.
Um, I did really good with last year. I only have two things still in the hoop
Mhm.
per se to be completely done, and one of those is very close. Um, the other one is a huge project, so I know I'm not going to get that done. So
Mhm.
I will be able to start 30 projects. I have 28 of those projects already wrote down and listed, and pictures are in a file. I was going to share them all, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. We'll be here until, the cows come home, as they say. Um, then Jolly July, which is stitching in Christmas. I have 49 that I need to lower down because, there's
Yeah,
not
there's not
49.
49 days in July.
Right. And do I just do the first 25 days?
I say
So,
just have them planned and pull from a jar.
yeah. So there's that. And then I was told about Sampler September.
Okay, that one I
If
do.
you know anything about me, um, I'm not keen on samplers. I like words,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't like alphabets. Like, I'm 44. I don't need to know the alphabet. So, like, the thought of stitching the alphabet over and over and over again just doesn't appeal to me.
I think the nice thing though is to when you have the sampler, like if you choose not to do the alphabet, that's fine. But you then have a different font alphabet in your stash for
Yeah,
choosing to go to other projects. That's kind of how I look at it.
that's true. Um,
So I will say for July, I have a ton of Christmas things really planned just randomly. So let's see. I do want to do more oh, I didn't hit share. I had clicked the picture but didn't hit share. I have no sew ornaments, so I don't have any specifics. But like if you
okay.
Google no sew ornaments, these come up. I have done one like this. It was taken quickly when I gifted ornaments I've made to family. So things like that. Um, Christmas balls. I have a couple years of patterns from Arne and Carlos. I have started. So yeah, this one looks like Oogie Boogie instead of an ice skater, but
I have that one.
Yeah, you do have that one. And I even have some giant balls right there. I made and worsted. And then I bought this and it is 15. I want to make a village because look
Those
at
are cute, though. They're so
them, aren't
cute.
they? Um, and then I just heard about this. It was at the Nashville market.
Yep.
And I think this would be cool. I don't know when I plan to do it, but I like the idea of having that as a garland.
Yeah.
Oh, that's something different. Yeah, that's all I got Christmas wise. I have samplers to do by the Tiny Modernist. I did the fall one already, and I have all the other seasons. I just
Okay.
haven't started them.
Um, yeah. And then for October, I have 13 days of spooky. So I have 13 patterns picked out for that. And all of my spooky patterns, a lot of all my patterns, I should say, are coming from past magazines.
Mm-hmm.
So all of my Halloween ones are actually coming from
Have that.
2023.
Mm-hmm.
So like this pumpkin right there, I've been wanting to do since the day this I got this magazine. So that is one of them. And I figure whatever Christmas I didn't get started that I wanted to during July, I will just fit in between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Okay. And then I have plans for this week. Um,
What?
yeah. Uh, my daughter is a race walker, and this coming weekend, two are former sharks, one is a current shark, but once a shark, always a shark.
Yep.
They are going to time trials in San Diego to qualify for world championships, and it will be in Turkey.
Which is awesome.
Yes, and two of them, one is gone. I don't know if the other college age one has gone. I know at least one of them has gone. I would assume both of them because I mean, one is breaking records all the time, and then the other one, he's 15. This is the first year he's old enough to. Our coach has a definite age
Okay.
qualification. Like you can't travel far with her unless. Anyway, so I thought it would be cool if I make this into a keychain for them for whoever makes it to World.
That's cute.
So I have to figure that out. But yeah, I thought it would be fun. I showed the coaches and they're like, I love it. Let's do it. I was like, all right. And it's like 40 by 40, so it won't take me that long.
Do you remember back in like the 90s, 80s, 90s, they had those clear keychains that people would put stuff like that in. So it's protected on either side. I'm wondering if they still have those like on Amazon or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this week my plan is to have my surgery tomorrow morning and then promptly sleep, hopefully, for like the next 5 days after.
Yeah, I'm going through my screens to make sure I didn't miss anything. And the only other big plan that I have to get done. Most of my stitch alongs, if I get them done, cool. If I don't,
That's okay.
um,
Mhm.
but my heaven and earth,
Oh, your
this is going to
mushroom.
get done this year. And I then want to also do the other. Now there's three more. The designer released a third, like mini version of her painting. Not mini, but like
Full color bookmark or something.
like this one is a part of a larger picture. So now
Okay.
there are four parts. Three are in the stitch along, one is on the website. I'm going to do all four, and I want to do the full, which, I was saying that last night in my new cross stitch group, and they, I got the crazy, you're crazy look. That's okay.
And
I'm crazy.
I was just gonna say, are you gonna get sick of the mushrooms before you get all those?
Well, because the big picture is not all mushrooms. I mean, there's mushrooms, but no, because,
Okay.
it's so detailed
Yeah.
that every area is just the details that come out. It's even now, like when I go back and look at what I've already done, it's like, oh my God, the detailing in the little upstairs window on the big mushroom is just so cool.
Okay.
No, not tired of
That
it.
was my only
Working on it
question
this
I
morning.
had for,
So my 500 stitches a day on that. I know.
um, yeah, I mean, it's great you can dedicate that much time. And maybe when I'm not in this amount of pain, I can again. But right now, my main thing is I told Sarah before we started this today, like I rewrote my 14, I only have 14 whips in cross stitch. And I know that's not a lot to some that's like a huge amount. I'm in between, like, it doesn't stress me out that I have that many. But when you look at how many I'm adding just between now and October, that's craziness. So with the fandom stitching group, I always have a wheel. And so what I did is I first did my Maynia. And as soon as my Maynia was done, I just went to my wheel.
Mhm.
Well, now I've been like, okay, spin the wheel. I got this. Does it fit in any of my categories for the weekly challenges in the fandom central stitching group?
Mhm.
If it does, cool. That means I'm putting 300 stitches on that project and spinning again. If not, I'm still putting 300 stitches on it, but I'm writing that one down and doing it after I finish the 6 weeklies.
Yeah. I am getting to the point where it's making me anxious only because most of what I'm working on are stitch alongs. And I do like to keep up, or at least not fall crazy behind. Like I gave up on Castle Homecoming. I will get to that when I get to it.
That's
When
my
I'm
one that
working
I
on it, I'm
started in
happy.
May
Mhm.
last year that I'm like, I get to that when I get to it.
Yeah, and
I'm
that's
happy
fine.
getting 300 stitches.
I am maybe a quarter of the way through the third page of my Haid, which we got 3 pages for the quarter. I get 3 more pages on April 1st, so I will be done and get that done in enough time that I can take a break from it and focus on other things.
Yeah.
When I'm done with that, I will focus on my Doctor Who Starry Night because I haven't touched that
Oh,
since.
is that a cell?
No, it's the Leap Day one.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I was like, whoa, wait, I'm confused.
No, the Doctor Who Starry Night that I started on Leap Day, I got like less than 50 stitches in because I was migraines and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Then I have the Dragons, a field guide,
Yep.
which I got the first dragon done. The third one just came out. So I could get it done. I know I can. Um, Dragons Field Guide, Gilmoreisms. I don't know where my lists are. Um, that might be it, but that's a lot.
No, you got your Disney villains unless you finish that, and I don't know about it yet.
Well, that Stitch Along's over. So
I
again,
know
that's a I'll get to it when I get to it,
when
and
I
I'm
get
not
to
so
it.
mad
Okay.
at it.
Yeah,
And
and
the
see, where you keep up, I don't even try.
and then the my paper piecing Stitch Along, which I do not have to get it done. But Ingrid tends to mail out the next month around the 15th. So I only have like 3 more like letters, I think, to sew on. I just haven't been working on it.
Gotcha.
Honestly, I haven't been working on, I've had no stitch days
Yeah.
last weekend. Like I had some days where I didn't stitch at all, which I hate. I actually cursed Peter out yesterday because he was just trying to say, "Hey, didn't you want to do this?" And I'm like, bad words spewing out. I'm stitching right now. And my mom just goes, in other words, she's not moving yet. I was like, no, leave me alone. This is what happens when I don't stitch.
Oh, that's funny. It's like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. You turn into like that wasn't the one for me either.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I there's only one stitch along ever that I started and finished during the time.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing goes like with mystery knit alongs. There's very few that I stay caught up on. Stephen West is normally one that I do,
Mm-hmm.
unless he
Love to
starts
finish.
to go randomly, and then I'm like, yep, nope, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
And I put it to the side.
I trust the process more than you do
Yes.
when it comes
Yeah.
to the mysteries. I'm along for the ride.
She's along for the ride, and I'm like, I gotta have some sense of control.
Yeah, no, I give it all up.
Yeah. So we differ that way a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are our plans loosely.
Mm-hmm. Mine are very loose. They always are.
I've found out through the grapevine of fandom stitching that supposedly we get extra points in June for finishes. So we have to leave 50 stitches to be completed. So
Mm-hmm.
now I'm in like, well, do I get all my the projects I was working on to the 50 stitches and then set it aside like, yeah, it's kind of technically finished, but it's not, so that I can get all those finishes in 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't stress me out though. If I'm just leaving 50, because that would be like 3 to 5 projects a day I could finish sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Because I normally, on average, when I work even, I normally get 400 to 500 stitches in a night.
Okay.
So I could do that,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't decided 100%. Because some of the little ones I'm starting for Maynia,
Mm-hmm.
I think they're like 20 by 20.
Mm-hmm.
They're little ornaments. Like, so That'd basically be getting a stitch done and saying this is the top of the thing
Yeah.
and setting it down. So I
Yeah.
haven't decided.
Okay.
I'm still debating on that.
Once I hit my 500 stitches today on Hade, I'm gonna pull out my emotional support shark because I would like to get it done before the weekend. And if I make three, then I have one for another time. If not all of them go. Bam.
So I'm going to ask a difficult question to you.
Oh boy. Okay.
Are you going to focus on Amelia's Christmas piece to have for this year or no?
Oh
Your
God.
first take.
I keep forgetting about it. Yeah.
The reason why I ask you is remember you started that last, what was it, September? And you're like, oh, I can do this and this and this and this by
I
Christmas. And I was
could
like,
have done it, but I can't seem to focus. My focus is slowly coming back.
yeah.
Like,
I just know Amelia with her love of Christmas like mine.
yeah, she also asked me to remake her. We were going through her closet, and I'll pull up a picture of her. I made her this dress, and I think the next time I make it, Mandy just made it for her daughter.
Okay.
I closed all the Ravelry, of course. I've made this dress for Amelia. I made it in cotton,
Oh,
which was nice, but I think this time I would probably do it. It calls for whirl.
yep.
Oh, no,
I
no, no,
forgot.
no, no. No, no, no. It's not the one Mandy made. I had that one as one I was going to make for Amelia. Um, this one was cool in that you did it not this way, you did it this way.
Oh,
And instead of increasing and decreasing, you decreased by just doing single crochets and you increased by doing half double double. And that gave
oh,
it its shape. Um,
huh.
this
That
one.
had a that'd
Look
be a
how
minute.
little she is, though. Oh, it was when we first moved into that. Sorry. I forgot how
You're good.
little she was. Look at her.
Oh my.
I know.
Look at that attitude with the hands on the hip.
Look at the cheeks. They gone now.
Yeah, she doesn't have cheeks.
That was when we first moved in. Um, so when we were going through her closet, I was like, I'm assuming this doesn't fit you anymore. She's like, yeah, but can I have another one?
Aw.
So yeah, no, this one actually called for cotton. I was thinking the one Mandy made, but yeah,
With with the
that'd be a
one that
nice
she
summer
doesn't
dress.
doesn't fit her as a dress, could she wear it as like a oh like with shorts?
It actually is a tunic.
Okay. So it just
Maybe
doesn't
I'll
fit her
show it
without the
to her again and be like, hey, this is actually supposed to be a shirt.
right.
um, but it's a free pattern and it goes up to size 16.
Oh wow.
hmm It is the Summer Days tunic.
I'll have to look at that one maybe.
It's
No.
really interesting. And you just make two pieces. You do the same. It's great.
Oh, okay. And then you
Make
just
two
whip stitch
pieces and then
together.
you sew them together and that's it.
Hmm.
It was cool.
I I need to get started on a mermaid tail for Christmas. Yeah. That's why I said I need to start on it now because I know I'm gonna be like get a foot into it and be like, I'm done with this. Throw it in the corner for time out for a little while. But no new
Do it
cast
in
on
thick
still.
yarn. Do it in thicker yarn.
Yeah.
So it won't take as long.
But Sheila has decided she wants to be a mermaid. Telling a 4 year old she just turned 4 last week that she cannot be a mermaid has been interesting.
Okay. I will tell you this after we're off. I have a funny. Okay. Oh, that's all your plans?
That is all
No
my
Advent
plan.
plans yet?
Um, I I don't think I'm gonna do Advent. I think like last year I took the break from Advent and I enjoyed that. Not having
I
to have
failed spectacularly.
yeah.
But I'm okay with
I don't want more things over my head for that.
it. I don't have any plans, but I never really do. I usually get 3 days in and I'm like, hey, I want to do this one. Let me catch up. And then I never catch up.
I was gonna say, have you caught up to any day yet, or is it still sitting on the back burner?
It's still on the back burner. I think my anthology was my advent.
Last year.
Uh-huh. And I think once I finish my crochet car project, I'm gonna put the anthology in the car. And then it'll get
I,
done.
I think that I will commit maybe to doing a square on my cozy memories during Advent,
Yeah.
just so that I can get some work on it.
All right. All right. Well, that's all I got.
All I got.
All right. And we will see everybody in 2 to 3 weeks.
Yep.
So I won't say 2 weeks because you have to figure that out.
We have to see where I'm at that point.
Yes.
So,
All right.
good day. Bye.